Bears
he still got it, I think.
Cincinnati Sunday at 1. Chicago's favored against the Bengals defense that just gave up 39 to the Jets. Brew, we'll start with you. What would another lackluster game for Caleb mean?
I think it might mean one of two things, Coach. One, it could, and it's still early, I guess. I mean, right? A lot of other players in this class are cooking. But it might mean he's like Nick's other guy, Trevor Lawrence. Like he's all right. Is a starter. It's pretty good. But not, and I hesitate to just write guys off now because we look at Darnold, Daniel Jones, and Geno Smith, but I'm saying Baker, he just might be pretty good. The other thing, though, I think it could mean, Coach, he's thinking too much, which he probably is because of Ben Johnson's putting a lot on his plate. But it's a thinking position. I think that's a big difference. I think sometimes that's why you see these excellent college quarterbacks that never become excellent in the NFL. And you see some guys who are, solid in college and become great because I think it's processing, decision-making, getting rid of the ball quickly, how, smart you are with, his pre-snap stuff is still a problem. It's just slow. Even if he's getting up there and they run the right play, it's just slow. So it just might mean that, I guess what I'm saying, they both go together. Maybe if he's thinking too much, he just is going to be a pretty good, okay quarterback, but not a great quarterback.
What's strange about this pattern, so he's had 2 games in a row where he's been sub-80 quarterback rating, and this could potentially be, let's say this is 3rd game in a row where he's sub-80. This is the exact same time as last year when he had 3 games in a row of sub-80 quarterback rating. And really, it's the same situation. They were 4-2. They lost the Washington game. That started his 3 games of not very good quarterback rating. And we know how that panned out. And now here we are almost identically a year later, and we're in this same rut, which is disappointing because you'd like to think that with the addition of Ben Johnson and now how far into the season we are, that there may be the off game, but it's not going to be 3 in a row. It's not going to be this type of pattern, and we had grown out of that. And at some point, I don't think we're there yet, but we got to stop making excuses for his lack of progress. It can't be all the head coaches and the offensive coordinators and the opportunities. And at some point, it's about him.
Looks like you want to say something, KW.
If he has another bad game, it's time to reevaluate the ceiling and the floor for Caleb Williams. So I went through the other quarterbacks in his draft class. Jaden Daniels, ceiling, Super Bowl MVP. Right? MVP,
Superstar.
Superstar. Floor, too skinny.
But
that's what it is. It's like maybe
floor is I know his mom got to get
banged up.
Floor is the
just in and out of the lineup. Great, but banged
his mom got mad at people talking about this, but the floor is RG3.
Yeah, it was
and again, I feel that's just Washington, dynamic, amazing quarterback that injuries take in a different direction. That is not. It feels harsher than I mean it to be, but that's what it was.
Bo Nix, Sean Payton's Drew Brees.
Okay, that's not his ceiling.
That's what Sean Payton says it is.
I understand, but his ceiling is not that he's the 7th greatest quarterback ever.
He says he's good.
Okay, but that's all right. I'm just telling you. I don't know.
What does Sean Payton think his ceiling is?
Well, Sean Payton thought Taysom Hill's ceiling was Steve Young. I don't care about what Sean Payton says. I think.
Bo Nix, pretty darn good.
Oh yes, sure.
Floor?
What's his floor?
Mac.
Pretty good.
No.
Mac, you think is this? I don't think.
No,
Mac
you can't say his floor is. I'm not trying to ruin your exercise.
Pretty good. Moving on.
I mean, that's not his floor, but go ahead.
What's his floor?
That he's not a long-term starter.
You think Mac
Coach
is his Mac Jones?
I think that's. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Drake.
Prince was promised.
Who is that?
Wait, what?
No,
This is Drake, or are you talking about
Drake.
Trevor Lawrence?
He's trying to steal that
The
nickname.
superstar.
Yeah,
Superstar. Absolutely.
Prince
You gonna steal that nickname?
He's trying. While he's doing this.
Floor,
go ahead.
maybe he gets hurt for running style. I don't know what his floor
floor
is.
is what Coach said, is the Darnold trajectory.
Okay.
Well, he's
Again, the floor. I
beyond
think
Darnold
ceiling and
trajectory
floor
already.
are
Turns
tough
out they're quite
exercise.
argumentative.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Caleb's ceiling is Mahomes 2.0, but I think his floor is lower than any of those guys.
Is his ceiling still? His ceiling is not Mahomes 2.0 anymore.
You think his ceiling's done too?
I mean, Mahomes 2.0 is like one of the greatest quarterbacks
I didn't know we
ever.
got divorced
I
off
think
of that.
that's done. I think you even would admit that that's done.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of my whole thing when I gave
Yeah.
it to Danny was not that I think he's going to be bad, but that I no longer think he is going to be a perennial MVP favorite.
Yeah.
Oh,
which
okay.
is what I think.
So what's his floor?
I think I agree. Well. Again,
Well,
I think
what do you think his
floor
ceiling is?
KW. We should have maybe workshopped this a little better, and I apologize because I didn't mean to argue.
I like
with you on it.
it's the
No,
exercise.
good idea.
I like
no,
the
no, no,
exercise.
no. Well, because
rough sledding.
No, because I think floor. I think you're doing a guy's median outcome as their floor, and that's why our floors are
yes,
lower.
I understand. Every
And so,
floor is like,
no, but
you know,
but I think
You're
Next
hung up
year.
on Bo Nix.
no,
but
no, I'm not
let's get
because
back
like
to
no,
Caleb.
I think
could be Baker.
Who?
He could.
Caleb.
Caleb could be Baker, where they get rid of him, he goes somewhere else.
See,
Baker,
now
I
we're
think,
being
showed
too
more.
We're
Baker
doing
showed
too
more in Cleveland,
hyperbolic
I
on it.
thought.
I
I'm
think
just saying, #1 overall draft pick doesn't work out at the team.
No,
they're
yeah,
at.
you hesitate to write a guy
Move
off.
on.
we're
I
kicking
I would
around
agree with
dire changes
Yeah, that's
for
what we're
Caleb.
saying. Floor.
Yeah, and no, that listen, and what nobody has mentioned in this segment is he's playing a defense that everyone cooks. And he just played a defense that everyone cooks. Now, granted, it was before T7, or post T7, but he needs to have a really good game. He needs to have a really good game.
So if he doesn't,
It's very
Well, he
concerning.
just also can't have a really bad game.
It's
That's another thing.
no,
It's
he
concerning.
should cook them.
So historic, it's getting torn down, so this will be his
yeah.
last.
Well, it might be his last.
Oh, that's a
If they lose, he could play. I mean, either way, he could play there again. If they lose, it's more likely that he would play there again.
This line, they must have heard your analysis. It moved back to 2.5.
Sounds right.
Wow.
That's good.
Who needs this win more?
I almost, I didn't know if we were going to do this question because I think we might be unanimous on it. We'll find out. I think it's obviously Buffalo. I think Buffalo, first, right or wrong, Kansas City's confidence will not be shaken. Kansas City is going to feel like we are going to be playing in the final game of the season because we do every year. And the year we don't, we play in the second to last game of the season. And I also think Patrick's words from earlier this week really spoke to that. Patrick he's very cautious with what he says, but sometimes he does make a point. And when he said, we don't have as good of a record, but I'm having more fun this year, I read that to also mean I think we're better this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just that the offense is more fun, and I'm not trying to argue about it again. I'm saying I think Patrick feels like we're better. So I think even if they lose, the Chiefs are going to feel okay, even if it's an uphill battle for the division, all that. The Bills don't have a good win yet, unless Baltimore retroactively turns into a good win. But even that one was weird. They were getting beat bad for 55 minutes. The Bills have, for the first time really in Josh's career, real competition in the division and a legitimate contender-ish team in the division that they are currently chasing down. And the Bills are used to beating Kansas City in the regular season. And so for all those reasons, it's like, wait, this year, we didn't beat the Chiefs in the regular season, and we're a couple games out of first in our own division, and we don't really have a win to hang our hat on. Like, I think that would take a real emotional toll on Buffalo. So I think the Bills unequivocally need this game more, Bruce.
I agree with you that if the Chiefs lose, they're not going to lose confidence. We've seen them bounce back time and time again and obviously do it in the postseason. But I think it's the Bills because you got to get to the postseason. And I think the Chiefs, even if they lose, I'll still think they will. But they will be 5-4. They do have the toughest.
Hold on, who needs it more, you said?
I'm saying that the Chiefs need it.
Oh, okay, you said the
Did I
opposite.
say the Bills?
Okay, yeah.
The Chiefs, I think,
And they'd
need
be
it more.
4-4 if they lose. Yeah.
Yeah, so they like, and they have a much tougher schedule than the Bills going forward. So I think the Bills, and if the Bills beat them, it'll be a big win because Coach said earlier, and you did too, like they haven't had a great win yet, but they've been beating the Chiefs in the regular season. What's that got them? You know, so I disagree with Coach in that even if the Bills lose, I think they're getting there. Even if they don't win the division, I think they'll be the wild card because I think they're very good, and two, their schedule's not tough. But I think with the Chiefs, I would expect them to I still think they would make the playoffs. But I'm just saying, at some point, you can't keep losing games, and you have a few more tough ones coming up.
Yep.
And it wasn't that long ago, I know they're on a 3-game win streak now, but that the Chiefs got beat by Jacksonville. So I think they need this game. They're the 7th seed right now. If the playoffs started now, 7th seed. If they lose, obviously they'd be out for the time being. So I think the Chiefs need it just for mathematical reasons.
Yeah, you feel like a lot of people feel, and you feel like the Bills feel that they're a pretty good team. That's what they went into the season feeling, but now we're 2-2 in the last 4 games. There is no signature win. There is no significant win. Your quarterback, who is excellent in protecting the football, has now had a rash of turnovers, which has been uncharacteristic. They're not horrible, but still very different than what you've experienced before. So are you good? Are you really that good midway through the season? If you lose another game here, Kansas City, they have the elite quarterback. They've got the track record of winning. They know that they can recover and dig themselves out of holes. Where the Bills they're not quite sure who they are and where they are. And if they lose this game, that doubt's going to continue to creep in as New England's confidence skyrockets.
I also think there is real singular pressure on the Bills this season. If you're Buffalo with Josh Allen, and you look at what has been, whether it is this moving forward or not, what has been the quarterback quartet atop the league, 4 AFC guys: Patrick, Josh, Lamar, and Burrow. That's what it's been. I'm not for most people. I know Jalen's gotten in there and oh, right, sure, but the top 4 that was most people's. Yep. Okay, well, Joe Burrow hasn't played since week 2 and is probably not playing again, and the Bengals are out. Lamar missed time, and the Ravens started 1-5. The Chiefs started 0-2. And the general media consensus, in mid-September was that the Chiefs were in huge trouble, and the Bills were 3-0 with a win over Baltimore that at the time looked maybe better than it does now, with what was supposed to be the easiest path to the 1 seed imaginable. You got to remember, a month ago, even on this show, we were like, well, obviously the Bills are going to be the 1 seed. We just kind of had written that in because the Pats weren't hot yet, and we didn't know what the Colts were going to be. If that year is all, you can't take advantage of it. Of the Bengals being out, who have knocked you out of the playoffs, of the Ravens starting having this tough start, of the Chiefs starting slow. Your annual Chiefs-Bills game in the regular season is in your building this year, which is, changes year to year. If you can't, not only can you not take advantage of it, but all of a sudden, you're not even the preeminent team in your own division. It's like, what the hell happened here? And so I do think there is some real added pressure of, man, if not now, when for Buffalo. And I think that will really snap into focus if they lose this game. Because you're talking about the Chiefs being the 7th seed. I think, because they had the bye, if the Bills lose this game, they would be assuming the Chargers and Broncos both win, or the Chargers win this weekend, the Bills would be the 7th seed after this weekend. And so, that's not nothing.
All right, well, turn our attention to Monday night, where the Cowboys are hosting the Cardinals. Now, Jerry Jones, not totally focused on his football team finding pay dirt. His business, however, bro. Wall Street Journal has an article focusing on Jerry's natural gas investments. Jerry Jones says he has unlocked a $100 billion gas bounty in this drilling inferno. Holy cow. And then he told the reporter, that's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys. Nick, you said you had an early candidate, or
No,
a
it's
late
not taking
candidate for taking the month.
No, it's not taking the month. I I just think it's good solid take.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to water down take of the month. You know, this is totally fine and totally reasonable, and it's why he absolutely should not be the GM of the team. It is totally legit for the owner of a team who got his money in his real business to be focused on his real business. Like the Penners, right, own the Broncos. They're the Walton heirs. Like the Walmart family owns the Broncos. If they are focused on, you know, how the tariffs are going to affect Walmart, that's fine. They're not they're not making the trade deadline decisions. Right. And so I think this is oddly a really important moment for Steven or whomever else is in power with the Cowboys. Be like, Dad, you're right. You have a chance to become one of, because he's not one of the richest people in the world in the modern world where people do have hundreds of billions of dollars. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that you should be focused on. Can you cede some of the power from the football team to some of us so we can focus on this? Because you can't be if Brett Veach was like, also, by the way, I own a car dealership in town that I'm in charge. I'd be like, nah, man, you're spread too thin. like, not cool. I need you focused on, right? Focused on the trade deadline. Jerry's talking about his natural gas empire. No problem, but then cede some of that power elsewhere. You seem skeptical, but what I'm saying is right.
I just felt like it was a weird flex. It's just a weird, like a weird. It's like, hey, I'm not doing my job very well, but I'm richer than I ever have been before. And why do you need to say that? You get a bad grade in your class and you walk out and tell the teacher, well, I still got a Maserati. Like, okay, we get it. You're really wealthy. And to bring the Dallas Cowboys into that call, was that a sports reporter? Was that that from the Financial Times?
No, there wasn't a lot of sports in the article.
So it just seems like you're bringing that element of frustration for a lot of Cowboys fans that have been very dedicated and passionate about the team, and being a bit flippant with it. And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know why you necessarily would do that. Just seemed like a really strange way to flex on people.
Yeah, I tend to I agree with a lot of what you said, Coach. Like I feel you, Nick. If he would, I think he feels like he can definitely do both. And
nobody can do both.
I think it'd be a great sign if he was like, I'm gonna go into this business, you know, I'm gonna get more involved in this business now and turn over the team to someone else. I've been saying that for years. Be an owner like Clark Hunt, where we don't even hear about the owner till they're handing you the Lombardi trophy. Like, that's what he should be like. And if this were a sign that he was going to hire a real GM, make it Steven, whoever, and get out of football, other than being the owner, I would love that for the Cowboys. But I don't think that's what it was. And I also would say that if he is still as engaged in the Cowboys as he has always been, obviously you can make all the money you want. But if the Cowboys mean as much as you said they mean to you, I mean, he already has all the money he could ever hope for, that his kids and their kids and their kids can have. So to be like, well, I want to get another $100 billion, and that's why I'm not involved with the Cowboys right now. I mean, if the Cowboys, you've been saying you would do anything to get another Super Bowl, then why you got another $100 billion? That's great. It'll put him on the Forbes list and all that, but.
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't buy a championship.
Right. I mean,
right. But that's, I guess.
How much money does the dude need?
I guess my point would be, and maybe I'm taking this either more seriously or in a different way than other people. I don't think Jerry, over the last 20-some years, has ever had something in his business life that was as exciting to him as the Cowboys. And it sounded to me from reading this article and what he's talking about that they basically made a $1 billion bet that could pay 100x, that he might actually have something that excites him as much as the Cowboys. And he'd still get to be the one.
Another $100 billion?
Well, when you say
$100 billion is a tremendous amount of money.
No, I get that, but
I mean, I don't.
He's never been hurting for money.
No. He's never been hurting for money, but this
last
is
20 years.
exponentially different than the type of money he's had, and
Maybe
he does
buy
seem-
the Chiefs.
Well,
That would be amazing.
they're not for sale.
Yeah, he buys another team and wins his championship. That would make sense.
But I mean,
actually.
it just seems like an opportunity for people within the
be
Cowboys to
great.
maybe wrest a little bit of control. Like, hey, Jerry, let us handle the trade
No
deadline.
chance.
I just
Yeah,
don't see it. I think
the challenge, and this might be why it wasn't the take of the year and just a solid take,
Yeah,
is that
I didn't oversell it.
no, but it doesn't feel. It does make total sense, but it doesn't feel like it will happen. Like, do you expect? Like,
I never even went there in my mind. To
Yeah.
me, it was more like, look how much money I'm making.
Oh, see,
I don't think he's thinking any less about
No.
the Cowboys.
He literally says it. He says he said it's $100 billion value. That's why I'm talking to you rather than fixing our defense.
You think he can
says,
fix the
I
defense?
am more interested in this because of the money than I am in the Cowboys. That's
no,
all.
it's just I'm making $100 billion. I don't really know how to fix the defense.
Well,
So,
that's not
Right.
Let me
He
tell you
does-
how
yeah,
much
he-
money I'm making.
Exactly.
all right, let's just spin it forward. Suppose that happens,
Mm-hmm.
and who should Stephen Jones? Is there someone out there? We've heard like Trey Hendricks and stuff. I think the Max Crosby stuff is.
Oh no!
More of a rumor.
To me, it's
They're not
less
gonna
about
get
a
one
trade
of them.
from
I
this
love it.
deadline than it is somebody that is singular job is the Cowboys on the field product, not the Cowboys business, not the brand, not natural gas. Running that team the way literally every other team in the NFL has someone who's that's their singular job. I think this would be an opportunity. Maybe I'm a
Well, they do have
romantic.
people like that. They just don't listen to them.
Well, yeah, they don't have power.
Right.
Yeah.
Natural Gas Daily Show. They're like, is Jerry too focused on the Cowboys?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.